Sound. Sound is a form of energy which excites in our ears the sensation of hearing. It is a wave that is created by a vibrating object such as a guitar string, the human vocal cords, or the diaphragm of a loudspeaker. Moreover, sound can be created or transmitted only in a medium such as a gas, liquid, or solid. Sources of sound. Any object that vibrates mechanically produces sound. If the frequency of vibration lies in the audible range, we can hear it. As a body vibrates, it pushes the air near its surface, thereby producing compressions, high-density regions, and rarefactions, low-density regions. This sets up a wave. When this wave reaches the ears, it presses the eardrums, which begins to vibrate and thus producing a sensation of hearing. Some of the sources of sound are the human vocal cords, stringed instruments, bells. A healthy young person hears all sound frequencies in the range of approximately 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz or 20 kHz. This range of frequency is called audible range. The ability to hear the high frequencies decreases with age. However, a normal middle-aged adult hears frequencies only up to 12 or 14 kHz. Sound produced by human beings. The vocal box. Sound in humans is produced by the voice box or the larynx. When you put your fingers on the throat, you will find a hard bump that seems to move when you swallow. This is known as the voice box. Below it is the windpipe. Two vocal cords are stretched across the voice box or larynx in such a way that it leaves a narrow slit between them for the passage of air. When the lungs force air through the slit, the voice cords vibrate. Sound requires a medium to propagate. Like all mechanical waves, sound too requires a medium to propagate. Sound cannot travel through a vacuum. Since there is no medium on the moon, therefore on the moon one cannot hear the sound produced by anybody. Sound can travel through a liquid. Many aquatic animals communicate underwater using this property of sound. In fact, sound travels about 5 times faster in a liquid than in air. How do we hear? One hears with one's ears. The outer ear collects sound waves and directs them into the ear canal. The ear canal carries sound waves to the eardrum. Sound waves cause the tympanic membrane, eardrum, to vibrate. The bones in the middle ear, malleus, incus, and stapes, pick up vibrations from the tympanic membrane or the eardrum. The bones in the middle ear amplify the sound and transmit it to the inner ear. Vibrations pass through the oval window in the inner ear, setting the fluid inside the cochlea in motion. Special nerve cells, hair cells within the cochlea, then turn the sound waves into electrical impulses. The auditory nerve sends these electrical impulses to the brain's auditory cortex, where it is then processed as sound. Amplitude, time period, and frequency of a vibration. Amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum distance by which the object moves away from its central position. Time period. It is defined as the time taken by a particle to complete one vibration or oscillation. Frequency. It is defined as the number of oscillations per second. It is expressed in hertz. Its symbol is Hz. A frequency of 1 Hz is 1 oscillation per second. If an object oscillates 20 times in 1 second, then its frequency is 20 Hz. Loudness, pitch and timbre. Loudness is the degree of sensation of sound produced by an object. It depends upon the intensity of sound waves near the ear and response or sensitivity of the ear to the waves of that frequency. The larger the amplitude of the vibration, larger the loudness of sound produced by it. The loudness of sound depends upon the square of the amplitude of vibration. Loudness is measured in a unit called decibel. When we compare the sound produced by a child and by an adult,
Papa,
I will be a millionaire in a month, we find that they are different, even if they are of the same loudness. They differ in terms of their frequency or pitch. Pitch. Pitch is a sensation which determines the shrillness of sound. It enables us to distinguish a shrill sound from a grave, hoarse sound, even though the two notes are of the same loudness. High-pitched sounds are called treble and low-pitched sounds are called bass. The pitch of sound depends upon two factors. Frequency of the source. It increases with the increase in the frequency of sound. Relative motion between the source of sound and the listener. Timbre. Timbre is the characteristic of musical sound which enables us to distinguish between two notes on the same pitch and loudness produced by different sources. Timbre expresses our ability to recognize the sound of a violin as different from that of a piano, even when the instruments are sounding the same note with equal loudness. Audible and inaudible sounds. Sometimes a vibrating source does not produce sound. This is because although sound can be generated by vibrations whose frequency lie below 20 Hz or above 20 kHz, humans normally do not hear it. In contrast, some dogs hear frequency as high as 30 kHz and therefore can respond to dog whistles that humans cannot hear. These whistles are called Galton whistles. Bats can hear even higher frequencies depending on high-frequency sound up to a frequency of 100 kHz for locating their prey and navigating. Sound waves whose frequencies lie above 20 kHz are called ultrasonic waves, while those with frequencies below 20 Hz are referred to as infrasonic waves. Infrasonic waves are produced by a vibrating pendulum, whales, elephants, and earthquakes. The sounds which a normal human cannot hear are called inaudible, while the ones which a normal human can hear are called audible. Noise and music. All sounds can be classified into two types: musical sound or music, and noise. Musical sound. A sound which produces a pleasant and rhythmic effect on our ear is called musical sound. Such a sound is produced by musical instruments. Noise. A sound which produces a jarring or unpleasant effect on our ear is called noise. Noise pollution. presence of excessive or unwanted sound in the atmosphere is called noise pollution. Unpleasant sounds are called noises. High-pitched noises are usually more annoying than low-pitched ones. Noise can damage the ears, cause tiredness and loss of concentration, and, if it is very loud, result in sickness and temporary deafness. Sudden increases in loudness cause most damage. Some of the main noise pollutants are aircraft, road traffic, firecrackers, and many types of machinery, including domestic appliances.